I had a dream for 7 days. It began in a field of wheat. I was running and dancing in a white flowy dress in this wheat field so large it went as far as the eyes could see. In utter peace, I looked around and I saw the sky, but it seemed like the sun was beginning to fall, and I began to run. As I'm running, there was a white blanket that fell, and I noticed it almost looked like a tallit. I ran and danced with the blanket when I suddenly felt the earth begin to shake and quake. Then I felt hands ripping my dress. I looked under my feet to the realization that there were people coming out of the wheat. I ran and I ran as fast as I could. So many hands, and this awful cry of their many voices. I just wanted to get away from this heart-ripping cry, but I wasn't fast enough. Every single person who began to take and grab my clothing took a piece of my dress, and they turned into skeletons. I wanted to keep running, but the Spirit of the Lord told me to stop and cover them with the blanket, and I obeyed. Those skeletons turned to people again, and the cry that sounded like screams of agony ceased. In the quiet, they all began to follow me through the wheat field. I looked up to the sky once again, to the sun, and a rock appeared in front of me, and a large mass of water. They stood and watched as I sat down on the rock with a blank scroll and an old feather pen to write. Out of nowhere, the rock began to move, and I, surrounded by a bubble, went underwater. In the deep dark blue, I heard the voice of the Lord again. He said I was in a spiritual womb, and when I come to a dry place, He would release me for my great testimony. It felt like I was floating around underwater in this dark blue abyss for hours, and I started to feel uneasy. But the Lord said to me, I love the dark because my greatest work is done in it. A wave of comfort washed over me, and the bubble popped, releasing me onto dry sand, where the people from the wheat field had already arrived. I began to wonder why my journey wasn't as easy as theirs. But the Holy Spirit spoke once again. He said, why are you focusing on someone else's path and how they got to their destination? Focus on your path by way of water that I chose for you. He continued, here in this desert-like place, this dry place, I will produce fruit. This is the place of your greatest testimony. As I love taking what seems like nothing and turning it into something that has never been seen nor done before. I looked around, and before me were thousands of scrolls. I took one and began to write, and write till I woke up to a book. What? A woman? What a woman? What a woman.